So what the hell is going on with GameStop? Everyone has a take on the war between Reddit investors and hedge funds. But even though this is going to cost me money to tell you, there's something awful behind the scenes you need to know. First, the backstory. A few years ago, some amateur stock market fanboys on Reddit noticed that Wall Street hedge funds were betting against GameStop. The hedge funds were doing what's called shorting a stock, which effectively means that they borrow shares and then immediately sell them. Say a stock is worth $10 now, but drops to $5 in a week. The hedge fund borrows a share and immediately sells it for $10. Then, a week later, they have to give the stock back. But because the price dropped, it only cost them $5 to buy it. They sold it for $10 and bought it for $5. Pretty good deal for them. Now, imagine doing that with millions of shares, and that's why Wall Street folks are fucking wealthy. It's crazy that this is even legal. But speaking of crazy, something wonderful happened. These Redditors saw that hedge funds were betting against GameStop, and they bet against the hedge funds. Hedge funds derive their power by being able to buy millions of shares at once. But thousands of people buying thousands of shares at once has the same effect. A few Redditors turned into a few dozen Redditors, which turned into a few thousand Redditors, which turned into making this more viral than a COVID patient licking a doorknob. So much GameStop stock was bought that it went from $20 on January 12th to almost $500 16 days later. It's basic supply and demand. The more people buy, the higher the value. People are buying for two reasons. One, because it's hilarious to mess with the wealthy short sellers who bet against the stock. And two, because a lot of people are desperate. They heard about the story and they're hoping that this is a way out of their financial troubles in one of the most difficult periods in recent history. But then it took a horrible turn. I know it seems like the hedge funds are the bad guy in this story, but they're actually the level one bad guy before you get to the real boss. The way common folk like you and me trade stock is through free apps like Robinhood. Why is the app named Robinhood? Because it wants you to think that it's taking from the rich and giving to the poor. But actually, it's doing the opposite. The app should be named the Sheriff of Nottingham because it's the bad guy. Robinhood so wants you to think that they're helping the little guy that they actually have a page on their website that make it seem like they're putting you on equal footing with Wall Street insiders. They explain that hedge funds focus on more intensive alternative and often riskier opportunities that regular investors can't access. This insinuates that with Robinhood, you can too. Bullshit. Here's how it actually works. There's an old phrase. If you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. Robinhood is virtually free to use because it makes money by taking the information about what people are trading and selling it to those big rich Wall Street folks. But it's not so they can advertise to you like most free apps do. It is so much more insidious. It's so insiders can get ahead of your trades. They make their money by rigging the game against casual traders. Robinhood makes 40% of its income this way, and they make most of the rest of their income from earning interest on the money in your account. Stock trading apps are designed to prevent you from ever catching up to Wall Street. But this week, Wall Street was overwhelmed when an unpredictable amount of users bought the same stock all at once. So what did Robinhood do? They froze their users' ability to buy or sell GameStop. And then, in a move that would impress the Sheriff of Nottingham for how evil it was, they started selling off user stock without their permission. In other words, they're forcing the price of the stock back down in order to help the people who bet against the stock in the first place. But wait, it gets worse. You know who gets hurt the most by this? The desperate folks. The people who heard about this late, who spent everything they had to try to get one win in life and lost it all because an app that purports to help the little guy forced the market back to a place where it only helps rich people. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's my point. No one should have to be to avoid getting scammed by these con artists. You shouldn't have to watch this video to avoid losing your life savings to today's Jordan Belfort. And if you have been tricked by these monsters, I don't fault you. I was tricked too. Robinhood first gained customers through micro-influencer marketing. People like me were given referral codes and paid in stock for helping spread the word. Great, I thought. Finally a way for the little guy to trade stocks on even footing. I was ignorant to what Robinhood truly was, and I'm sorry I didn't better understand that they were lying. Now that I know how terrible Robinhood is, I am editing them out of every one of my videos, every description, and I am deleting every comment I can find that mentions them. I have deleted their app. And except in the context of a video like this, I will never mention them again. Hey Robinhood, you can go fry or tuck yourself. But what do I know? I should stick to comedy.
If you enjoyed this video, check out my latest Stick to Comedy video right here. Subscribe to my YouTube channel here, and check out my live streams here. You can join my Patreon at patreon.com/Steve Hofstetter, and see my live touring schedule on my website, stevehofstetter.com. Thanks for watching.